বিষয়ে কোনো জিজ্ঞাসা আছে?
না ম্যাম।
কোনো বিষয়ে জিজ্ঞাসা নাই। তাহলে আমরা কি একটু পড়েছিলাম, আমরা কি একটু জানি? আমি সরি, হঠাৎ করে পড়ার কারণে একটু দেরি হয়ে গেল। তাহলে আমরা কি একটু জানি যে আমাদের এই মডার্ন পিরিয়ডে বা কালকে একটুখানি কথা বলার পর একটুখানি জানার পর আমাদের কি একটু জানা হয়েছে যে কারা সরি কারা কারা মডার্ন পিরিয়ডের বা মডার্ন এইজের modernism pioneers who started writing in modern period. একটু কি জানি?
জি ম্যাম।
কারা কারা?
ম্যাম জর্জ বার্নার্ড শ, জর্জ অরওয়েল, থমাস হার্ডি, ভার্জিনিয়া উলফ, জেমস জয়েস।
তারপর Eliot.
Yes ma'am, T.S. Eliot.
আচ্ছা, এখন আমরা যদি মোটের উপর এরাই আমাদের ওকে, যেটা বলছিলাম যে মোটের উপর এরাই আমাদের মডার্নিজম অথবা মডার্নিজম, the people who practiced writing on modern ideas, modern periods. Okay, and if we consider this modern period, and I hope that you all remember the characteristics of modern period. Do you remember the characteristics of modern period? I hope
yes,
so.
ma'am.
So if we remember the modern period characteristics of modern period, then we can sum it up that this modern period is the is one of the period that actually dehumanized art, or we see that the modern period is the we can call that the modern period is one kind of the dehumanization of art. What is actually we understand dehumanization of art? Dehumanization. This is the period which not only talks about human being, rather the themes, themes of the writers, the themes that included in poetry, novel, fiction, drama, whatever written in modernism, modern writing, modern period, involves the sense of alienation. Sense of alienation or portrayed meaninglessness of life or nothingness of life, and it carried ill and distorted relation between man and man, man and woman, man with himself, and most importantly, man and nature. আমি বুঝাতে পারলাম যে ডিহিউম্যানাইজেশন অফ আর্ট বলতে কি বুঝাইলাম? Not only emotions, human feelings, or human imagination. This is rather the components, the writers of this period, the poets, novelists of this period used the themes in their writings. Rather, these are more than humanization. What they tried to touch, they tried to touch the sense of alienation of of human being. They tried, they found that the relationship that romanticist or Victorian people tried to find that relation between man and women, that is in the name of love or hate or enmity, in the name of love and enmity. If I say hate, then it is not actually covered the whole area. Then if I say enmity, love and enmity between men and between relationship between society, among the society, they are saying that love between man and woman. But this is the period who found that this period is talking about more than human being, the relationship that exists that is not only for man and man and women, rather man and man with itself. আমার আমার নিজের সাথে আমি আমার নিজেকে কিভাবে এসেস করছি, আমার নিজের সম্পর্কে নিজের ধারণাটা কেমন হচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে? Men and women and above all man with his nature, that is. And then if I say it's nature, that means what we know about nature, that the trees, birds, rather you can say that this nature is the man and with its surroundings. That's why, because of this man and nature, that's why gradually we see because of man, because of reading human being, because of learning human being, that started from this, the birth of the modern period, modern writing. We see that the theory, several theories started several theories in literature that or several theories are applied in literature considering this human being and the relationship and the psychological state of human being. Regarding this, many theories are started to come out. Say for example, have you I know that probably you know the term structuralism, post-structuralism. Then you know the term that deconstruction, criticism, যেগুলো লিটারারি ক্রিটিসিজম নট বাট লিটারারি থিওরি হিসেবে আমাদের সামনে আসছে regarding considering this sort of writing that started from the modern period. Men and nature, now this the relationship between men and nature, we know that nature is another theory is known to us, that eco-criticism is how eco, that is biodiversity or nature or ecosystem, or how ecology relates with human being. And you see, we before this period, we only knew that there are just man and women, man and women. But after starting from this very period, we learned that this men and women, sorry, this is there are another option, there are many other options like male and female. Men and women or human being are not only in biological form, rather this human being can be in the form of gender. And when we came to learn that these men and women are not only confined, or not only in the idea of men and women, there are the idea of male and female and idea of gender. Then we know that there another sex that is known as third sex, another gender that is known as transgender, or an theory regarding this transgender or third sex, or another type of human being came to meet us, came to in front of us, and theory regarding that people, theory regarding that human being, those human being, queer theory also started to thrown to us. So that's why this modern period is very important, where people, where the writers, or where human beings started thinking of human being. বুঝাইতে পারলাম?
জি ম্যাম।
কি বুঝলে?
Ma'am, actually, as we discussed that before modern period or the modernism started, we just knew two sorts of human being. One was male and the other was female. But in modern period, we know that beyond male and female, there are
Beyond man and woman.
yes ma'am. Beyond men and women, there are so many related.
Human being, okay, beyond man and woman, human being carries another identity. Okay.
Yes ma'am.
Another identity. Biological self is not only the self. Biological human being is not always the entire human being. ঠিক আছে? যারা বোঝো নাই, যাদের মনে হচ্ছে যে একটু আনক্লিয়ার, বাট যদি না বুঝে থাকো একটু বলার চেষ্টা করতে হবে, একটু বলতে হবে বা জানার চেষ্টা করতে হবে, ঠিক আছে? সো আমরা যেই বিষয়টুকু বলছিলাম সেই কারণেই বলছে যে ডিহিউম্যানাইজেশন অফ আর্ট, এবং দ্যাটস ওয়াই we are talking that what sort of relationship, what sort of themes, what sort of ideas are used, or you can say applied in the writings of modern periods. And as we were talking about love, sex, relationship, psychology, human practices, beliefs, religion, these all are all got new shape, new structure in the practices, in the writing of modern writers. And yes, of what you said, or yes, you all know that the prominent writers, George Bernard Shaw, Thomas Hardy, then Henry James, and you know Henry James, আমরা একটু হেনরি জেমসের কথা কমই আসে বা কমই হয়তো আমরা জানি, বাট who is Henry James? হেনরি জেমসের কথা বললে যে কমন বিষয়টা আসে, যে কমন কথাটা আসে হেনরি জেমসকে জানানোর বিষয়, হি ইজ দ্য ফাদার অফ দ্য মডার্ন নভেল। সরি, হেনরি জেমস না, হি ইজ হেনরি ফিল্ডিং। হেনরি ফিল্ডিং এর কথা বললেই যে এই বিষয়টা আসে, হি ইজ দ্য ফাদার অফ দ্য মডার্ন নভেল। ইফ হি ইজ দ্য ফাদার অফ দ্য মডার্ন নভেল, can you guess who is the father of the modern literature? Modern literature.
I mean poetry.
Poetry বললেই হবে না, লিটারেচার বললে তো আসলে সব কাভারই করে। Though he is a pioneer in poetry, but he is considered as modern literature.
Ma'am, Bernard Shaw.
No, Geoffrey Chaucer. ঠিক আছে, জিওফ্রে চৌসার। শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
জি ম্যাম।
তারপর আর কার কথা আসছিল? হার্ডি, ফিল্ডিং, হেনরি জেমস, হেনরি ফিল্ডিং, হার্বার্ট জর্জ ওয়েলস, দেন আসছে আমরা একটু এই নামগুলো আসছে কেন বলছিলাম যে স্যামুয়েল বাটলার, এগুলো আসছে অ্যাকর্ডিং টু ইয়ার, অ্যাকর্ডিং টু দ্য স্টাডি অফ দেয়ার রাইটিং। ইয়েস, ওকে 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 ওকে, যাচ্ছি এক মিনিট। যেটা আসছিলাম এরপরে যারা commonly known, very famous through their writing and themes, different themes, and unusual, not only different, in some cases unusual themes. They are D.H. Lawrence, James Joyce, T.S. Eliot. Yeats, though Yeats is in some cases very much close to the romanticist, but Yeats, John Galsworthy era, they are the very, very, you know, that you can say that they are the big players of modern literature, or modernist literature. Big players. Why we are saying, we can say that, or why we are using this term? Because I'm saying that they started with very much unusual, and probably at the very beginning of when we come across very first hand of their writing, we will see that, or will they are the themes they dealt with. We considered that, oh, it can it be happen, or could it be? And the things they applied in their writing, whatever, poetry, fiction, novel, drama, whatever it is, we see that at the very first hand, these all are the themes they used in their writing, unacceptable. And some that's why for the very beginning of their writing, say for example, when D.H. Lawrence started with his writing Lady Chatterley's Lover and then Sons and Lovers, it was what it was considered as, oh, what he wrote. Can it be possible? And you see with this D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers, and Lady Chatterley's Lovers, Freud, Sigmund Freud, who is the father of psychoanalytical criticism, he started thinking, he showed that what is actually happening in human thinking, the thinking of man and women, that the thing, the Aeschylus or Greco-Roman writers applied in their writing. Say for example, in Oedipus, Phaedra, Electra. Can you remember the theme of Oedipus, Phaedra? Or I know that you didn't read Electra, but can you remember the theme of Oedipus, Phaedra? And that's why, because of this Oedipus, the psychology of human mind, or somewhat unusual relationship of human being, that term is already coined, that is known as Oedipus complex. So can you remember the theme of this Oedipus, Phaedra?
Yes, ma'am.
মেয়েরা কেউ মনে পড়ে নাকি পড়ে না, নাকি একজন বললেই হবে যে সবার কথা বলে হয়ে গেছে? D.H. Lawrence and যেরকম ভাবে D.H. Lawrence এবং James Joyce. If we talk about James Joyce, he is the man who criticized through his writing the portrait of the artist as a young man. He started thinking in a different way and showed us how religion in some cases can be misguided. Not in some cases. You must be logical. This James Joyce is the man who identified that you should be logical to run your life. You must apply your reason to lead your life. No blindness can. If you be blind, you cannot lead your life. You cannot actually achieve your life or achieve your leading life. বোঝাতে পারলাম? এখন এগুলো হচ্ছে কমন বিষয় যে কমন বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে আমরা বলছিলাম যে বা মডার্নিস্ট রাইটারদের কমন ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক্স এর পাশাপাশি দেয়ার উই ডিসকাস come to our text, that is history of English literature. Then here we see that they discussed on several they discussed on separately about the writers. Say for example Thomas Hardy, Henry James, Joseph Conrad, then Herbert George Wells, Samuel Butler. এই বিষয় এনাদের সম্পর্কে যখন আলাদা করে আলোচনা করেছেন, we see that they discussed on their novels, their writings. Sorry. What sort of writing or what are the writing? Huh? So if we see the or if we come to 10 মিনিট আছে, এই সেশনটা শেষ হলে আমরা আবার জয়েন করব, ঠিক আছে?
ওকে ম্যাম,
সেশনটা শেষ হলে আবার জয়েন। ওকে, এখন থমাস হার্ডির বিষয়টা যখন থমাস হার্ডি নিয়ে বলছে দ্য ইনভলভ কনস্ট্রাকশন অফ ডিসপারেট রেমিডিস গেভ। আচ্ছা, হার্ডির নভেলের বিষয়ে যে কমেন্টটা এই জায়গায় করেছে, শুধুমাত্র নভেল বা পোয়েট্রি বিষয় না, তার অনেকগুলো লিস্ট দিয়েছে কি কি ধরনের কাজ করেছে বা কি কি ধরনের লেখা লিখেছে, যে বিষয়ে দিয়েছে সেই জায়গাটা এসে আমরা একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট যেটা বলি, যেটা হার্ডির ইম্পর্টেন্ট প্রোডাকশন অথবা ইম্পর্টেন্ট লিটারেরি পিস, দ্য রিটার্ন অফ দ্য নেটিভ। It is the book, it is the novel that focus the study of man's helplessness before the malignancy of an all-powerful fate. So how man became helpless, how man felt or feels helpless when in front of fate, or how man feels helpless in the hand of fate. ঠিক আছে, this return of the native focuses that ill-fated nature of human being that makes human being helpless. Where Hardy presented that the victims, that is Clem Yeobright and Eustacia V, that is the hero and heroine. Clem Yeobright and Eustacia V are typical of Hardy's best characters, and the book is memorable for its fine description of Egdon Heath, which plays an important part in the action bolche boyer khetre. But these all are Egdon Heath, Clem Yeobright, Eustacia V. They are the exemplary characters for seeing or for portraying human nature in crisis. Okay, crisis, what sort of crisis? No, it is not man-made crisis. The crisis they faced while they handed over themselves in the hand of fate. বোঝাতে পারলাম?
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
জি ম্যাম।
আচ্ছা, আবার হার্ডি পোয়েট্রির কথা যদি আসছে তখন বলছে হার্ডি, আমি কিন্তু এখন টেক্সট থেকেই বলছি, ঠিক আছে? প্লিজ ডোন্ট ডিস্টার্ব মি প্লিজ, এমনিতেই নেটওয়ার্কটা ঝামেলা করে বাবা। আচ্ছা, when we are talking about his poetry, that book is telling that Hardy began as a poet, and though for a long time he was unable to find a publisher for his works, he continued to write poetry. After the public outcry against his two greatest novels, he wrote only verse, Wessex poems, and আরেকটা বলছে, একটা হচ্ছে Wessex poems written between 1865 and 1870, appeared in 1898, and 3 followed explored in his TD stream poems of the past and present. So you see, Hardy, who was started writing in a very different way in his novel, faced difficulties while writing poetry, and he was in lack of getting publisher to publish his poetry. Okay, and what another problem he faced in his writing, his epic drama of the Napoleonic Wars cast in a gigantic mold. The bulk of Hardy's verse consists of short lyrics. The bulk of Hardy's verse consists of short lyrics, pithily condensation, often intentionally angular in rhythm, but always showing great technical care and a love of experimentation. There they are talking about Hardy's writing style of his poetry. Okay, but always showing great technical care and a love of experimentation. That experimentation is one of the greatest characteristics of modern period. That is, they experimented with the new form. As some of the titles suggest, they, like the novels, reveal concern with man's unequal struggle against an overwhelming fate. So Hardy was very much closely connected with human being, and in some cases the ideal stage of human being. That ideal state that is going beyond, that is metaphysical, or going beyond the physical self, and in contrast of this metaphysical or beyond self, another term, or another idea that hindered or created obstacles for men. This is known as fate. Though modernist writers, modern people gradually denied fate, but Hardy, as the very beginner of this modern writer, he showed that how men though men were obscured, or this fate obscured man's life, but how man started to ignore it, started to overcome this fate. So in his poetry or novel, Hardy used this relationship with man and fate, human being with its fate. Revealed concern with man's unequal struggle against an overwhelm. Unequal struggle. It is obviously so that the fight between human being and his fate is always an unequal fight. Okay, and if this seldom echo the bitter accusation of his novels, many of them are deeply felt. The Dynast is a great achievement with its 130 cents and enormous area of portraits in place. It becomes এখন এরপর যদি হার্ডি নভেলের ফিচার্স গুলো নিয়ে, নভেলের যে ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক সেগুলো নিয়ে বলছে, ওর সাবজেক্ট, নভেলের সাবজেক্ট গুলো কেমন, বলছে Hardy's subject is the same in most of his novel. In all his greatest works, he depicts human being facing up to the onslaughts of a malign power. কিরকম, accepting as he did the theory of evolution, Hardy accepting as he did the theory of evolution. So he acknowledged the Darwinism or the theory of evolution, that is the survival of the fittest. Hardy saw little hope for man as an individual, and though his greatest figures have a marked individuality, Hardy's aim was to present man or woman rather than a particular man or a particular woman. That means Hardy was not always concentrate on a single human nature. Rather, he established, or he tried to focus on collective manhood, collective womanhood. শুধুমাত্র, and he never tried to focus that this female is exceptional. Say for example, in Pride and Prejudice, what we see, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice পড়েছিলাম আমরা।
জি ম্যাম।
Pride and Prejudice মধ্যে যে লিজা বা এলিজাবেথকে দেখানো হয়েছে কি
Yes,
কেমন
ma'am.
এক্সেপশনাল হিউম্যান বিং, considering her age, that means considering his prevailing society, her prevailing society, ঠিক কি না?
জি ম্যাম।
This writer, including Hardy, they started to present that
ম্যাম
specific
ম্যাম
one.
এই
Yes.
সেশনটা তো